you know about dancing? Just because you got a little college beyond your belt don't mean you're the best stepper on the floor. Why, if she was still living, your grandma could have told you about me. I don't think she would have. In my time, they called me Red. I was mercurial, hot as blue fire. I could reel on swamp mud at 200 miles an hour and stop straight up on a Canadian dive. I used to spin so fast that I would have drilled a hole clean through that floor you're high stepping on. And the sparks flying from your taps would have scared away all the critters going to the mountain. You don't believe me, do you? Well, listen, back in New Orleans, it folks up jazz music for lunch and inspired it for dinner. Wash down gumbo so spicy hot, it would make you sweat. So usually, when the live set ended at the High 7 Club, the hip cats, after gumbo, jazz, and wine, strutted through the door mopping their faces with oversized handkerchiefs. The ladies, of course, had huddled up long before the music started. One Saturday night, me and Raynell Dizzy Williams exited the High 7 and made our way toward an after-hours jam I had been invited to by a sweet Cuban sugar named Sandy, who had tried her best to keep up with me on the dance floor earlier that evening. We finally made it to the joint, a ritzy, multi-story tenement that looked like a private museum. As soon as I knocked on the door, the brass peephole swinged open. I felt eyes and air pouring through on me. Red here! Sarah G. The door opened and Big Charlie Down, bouncer dock worker by day and bouncer by night, towered over me with a grin. My man, Red! The jazzy high stepper. The one and only. I removed my cock cannonball from my slick down hat. And this is my running mate, Dizzy. Y'all come on through. Solid, I said. I flipped Charlie 2 bits, and me and Dizzy eased down the hallway toward the sound of the groove. I looked around at the hip people in the room we had landed in. Just to the toes, down my shot of whiskey and a single swallow, and looked over at the waitress for a refill. Only the squares didn't get juiced. Red was no square. So I got down, real down, high as Ben Franklin's kite. A few more shots of whiskey layered on early evening wine had me feeling as good as a pig of slop. There I was, tripping. Off the funny life. In a large boat-tied directional room, covered with info. The players huddled in corners, floating in their baggy pleated pads and flashing their gold watch chains. A few cats leaned so far forward that if their ladies didn't pop them up, they'd fall flat on their mug. Dizzy got caught up in a lively corner discussion with a few musician acquaintances who couldn't resist trying to unravel Charlie Parker's solo. So I got my swollen, woozy head out of that seat. A cool breeze swirled around on the roof, but hot music and jam-type congestion warmed all bodies. Big bodies, little bodies, wide and short bodies, tall bodies, divergent bodies, block bodies, working bodies, city bodies, somebody, and nobody. I bet you didn't know they had that different kind of body. They had more than that other night. I just can't remember them right off. Then there was one lovely body that I'll never forget. I can see it at this very moment the way I saw that night way back under, stuffed like Louisiana hot sausage, seasoned with sage and other mouth-watering spices. I can see it just as clearly as I can see you slip and slide and jerk across them varnished wood slats on your mama's living room floor. Early that Sunday The lady circled deliciously about a barrel, a bar, and a room to the beat of a seductive number blaring from the arch-headed jukebox. Hundreds of skinny braids swung about her aerodynamic noggin like an iridescent terror ball seen through hallucinating eyes. Liquid magic flew from each twirling braid. The crowd barked with pleasure. Clap, today, girl. I said to myself, what is this wholesome, beautiful goddess doing, shaking her life to seek that way? I couldn't believe such a tall, wide, curvaceous body could be so foamy, working, liquid. She had to be into yoga, aerobics, voodoo, something. This thing she was working on turned on the chemo. What she was doing was Red's kind of thing. Tongue goes square, ain't going nowhere. Gingerly, I pranced out to the room, emphatically introduced myself. Red here, baby. What did you say? She looked me straight in the eye and smiled. You is red, ain't you? But are you hot? What was she looking at? Sunburned glaze? She's not having looking at me. I'm red. I'm not red. This shirt is red. I peeled off my suede jacket, draped across my shoulder, and climbed up for the ladies' social challenge. Didn't I say my name was Red? Yeah. But are you ready? Anytime, anyway. I was born stepping and ain't nothing slowed me down yet. I slung my jacket across the room, undid the top buttons on my red silk shirt, bared my even chest. Then I snapped my fingers and beat with the polyrhythmic sounds that lit up the roof and the blackened sky. She faced my way and snapped her fingers too. Well, honey, get down and hit it. Because if you can't hit it, you can't get it.
Well,
I wanted to ask you what? It would have been a natural question. But a checkerboard. Red was too cool for that. Stuck my fingers to the knee and hit my knee. That's what I did. Suddenly I whirled my body around slowly. I had one hand all the way down, fingers snapping. And I had the other hand all the way up, fingers snapping. I moved about her smoldering, gyrating mass to map out the territory, all the while smiling and peering into her large, hairy, dark eyes. Mindful that the puffing crowd was gearing up. Showtime! Showtime. Those who knew my reputation chanted my name. Red! They said. But to my surprise, some high cascading voices in the crowd echoed Rick House's name confidently. Ruby! 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 Honey, get down! Then I heard Sarah G. Ruby! Show that stud a thing or two. But not too much, because he learned real fast. Ruby, hey, the name caught my ear. They say she had been all over twisting that wonderfully supple body. In Harlem at the Savoy. In Los Angeles at Club Alabama. Now I was looking at her with my very own eyes, uptown and down, live and in person. The taste of the soul of the Atlantic and the Pacific. Ruby, come to conquer all this. But all this was my job. Me, Red, who hung out with the high-stepping copers and blew all the young girls' minds with my blind feet and material hip. So I told her, here, Red, my name. Coast to coast, every day. Every day. Every day. while, I still snap my fingers low and high while circling my prey. She moved toward me as if she were gliding through air. Then she caught me off guard with a magical smile, banged my poor little body hard with her thick hips and whispered within a hot breath of my lips, "Olé!" Olé!